The deep state is a real thing. You've got people leak.
Yeah.
I mean, look, you got people leaking classified information to, that was falsified. What we learned from the disclosure by Tulsi Gabbard in the last month, that under President Obama's direction, our intelligence community altered the intelligence briefings to show the opposite of what the intelligence community analysts had already concluded. And then they leaked that falsified, classified information to the media. Now, so you've got altering of records, you've got leaking of classified information, you've got lying under oath about it. These are all very serious felonies, as well as a conspiracy, a seditious conspiracy to undermine the efficacy of the elected administration. And so I think what we're seeing now, with these Tulsi Gabbard referrals to the Department of Justice and the convening of a grand jury about it, is that there's finally going to be some accountability about this. I've also seen, poor Tina Peters is still sitting in prison up in Colorado for preserving, as she was legally obligated to do, preserving election data from the 2020 election. Federal law requires that all election records be kept for 22 months. And the Secretary of State there, an activist Democrat, had ordered an update to all of the electronic voting equipment in the state that would have destroyed election records in violation of that federal law. And it's a serious felony, and the people that are responsible for complying with that election law are the county clerks, Tina Peters being one of them in Mesa County. And she tried to stop it, and they were going to go ahead with it. So she made a copy, an archival copy of the record, so that she could not be charged with allowing those records to be destroyed. And then she was charged with multiple counts. Her own IT people would not help her with that, so she brought in somebody from the outside and gave him access, and they claimed that that was an unlawful access for her to comply with federal law. And it's an outrageous decision. And the judge, anybody doesn't believe me that this was so outrageous, just Google search on YouTube for the judge's sentencing. The way he treated her at sentencing was about as outrageous a judicial speech as I've ever seen. And she's, that is a pending appeal, but they refused to even let her, this 70-year-old woman, Gold Star mother, out on appeal, on bond pending appeal. And so she's filed a federal action to at least give me bond pending appeal, so I'm not sleeping on a concrete slab with a half-inch mattress at 70 years old. And they're refusing to do that. The Justice Department weighed in, agreeing that she should get bond pending appeal. But more importantly, and this is the long-winded way why it came to this story, advising the court that the prosecutors in that case are under criminal investigation for the conduct in that prosecution. I think this is part of the nationwide conspiracy that Tulsi Gabbard and the Department of Justice are seeking to bring criminal indictments about, and we'll just see how far it reaches. But I think it reaches to the NGOs, many of whom are very likely have been getting money laundered through our own tax dollars, through USAID and otherwise. It includes the bar disciplinary actors who are cooperating overtly, and includes the folks on the January 6th committee, whose pardons are called into question because of the auto pen scandal. All of this is all designed to thwart the agenda that President Trump was elected on, that we, the American people, elected him to pursue. And that's a seditious conspiracy, and I in my view, and I think we're going to get some very serious action coming out of the grand jury before the end of the year.